Everyone in Mordavia minds his own business and does not go looking for trouble. You obviously do not fit in well here. Stay out of trouble if you have any brains. Stay out of trouble and other people's business, and you and I will get along with one another. Otherwise, you will get me angry. I'm sure you don't want to make me angry, do you?
Just walk on through. The sign simply reads. Through the archway you can see the buildings in the northern part of town. As you enter the northern part of the town, you hear the sound of a chisel chipping away at a stone block. A man is carving gravestones at one end of the street. Your attention quickly moves from the stone carver to the ominous Gothic building in the center of the street. There is definitely something not right about this structure. A sense of great danger and hunger comes from near the door of the massive stone building. How did they get those huge stones to stay in place? Through the archway you can see the east side of the town, a residential area. You don't notice. This is a bas-relief of a strange creature. It looks like an octopus with only 6 tentacles. You have a creepy feeling as if it is looking right back at you. It is a thoroughly uninteresting wall, sort of a wallflower. It is a thoroughly There is an indentation near the middle of the shadowed door. It looks like a set of 6 curved spokes radiating out from a central point. It's an advertisement for Igor's headstone business. From the hump on his back to his twisted body, this is either the Hunchback of Notre Dame, a mad scientist's lab assistant, a gravedigger, or an Elvis impersonator. There is a small, grimy window set high in the wall. You don't know. This weather-beaten, boarded-up door once sported a painted sign, but you can no longer read it. Igor probably paid very little for his shovel. It looks dirt cheap.
I won't ditch my shovel for anyone. You dig me?
He looks at you and then goes back to work. The headstone carver stares at you and then goes back to work. You introduce yourself to the gravedigger.
Me, Igor. Building was Adventurers Guild. No adventurers, no guild. Town Mordavia, this north part of town. Oh, this day job. Also work graveyard shift. Little graveyard humor there. Igor dig graves in cemetery. Igor put dead person in grave. Igor cover dead person with dirt. Igor put headstone on grave. Oh, plenty job security around here. Business is piling up. Little graveyard humor there, again. Oh, Igor not hear rumors. Igor not no stranger in town. Igor not no doctor make strange things in lab. Igor not no funny man in inn not funny. Igor not know many things. Igor not hear many things. Bad building. No go there. Bad, bad, bad. Igor didn't know you cared. What do you want? If you don't move your hand, Igor hit it with hammer.
It's completely silent beyond the door. You unlock the door using the key the Burgomeister gave you. This place appears to have been an adventurers' guild hall at one time. Evidently there are no more adventurers left in Mordavia. The hall is badly in need of maintenance. It's a rare example of the deadly Mordavian moose, distinguishable by its long, fang-like canines. Someone has strung garlic around its neck, probably in hopes that it will stay on the wall. A large ewer, or maybe it's mere, lies on the table. It was probably used to splash water on overheated athletes. It has a crack in the bottom and isn't useful for much of anything anymore. This is a slightly smaller ewer, what you might call a min-ewer. The floor has deteriorated and looks unsafe in this section. This is either some sort of diabolical device or an exercise machine. Come to think of it, exercise machines are diabolical devices. There is a set of coat hooks in one corner. You never knew adventurers were expected to be that neat. There is a large crack in the ceiling. The upstairs neighbors must have had a pretty wild party. Just then you remember that you are upstairs. Must have been someone out for a moonlight stroll on the roof then. A large ring is securely attached to the ceiling. There is an empty picture frame above the bookshelf. Either somebody thought the wall itself was a piece of art, or a thief has been at work here. The painting shows a proud-looking adventurer standing on an obviously defeated dragon. It might have had more impact if the dragon wasn't just as obviously winking. The plaque says, "Wish you were here in Silmeria, Dunstan." A portrait of an adventurer long gone hangs on the wall here. A small plaque at the base reads, "Piotr, Paladin." A finely crafted sword rests within this case, but there doesn't seem to be a door or any way to open the case. A plaque reads, "Break glass in emergency." This desk holds the adventurer's logbook, a quill pen, and an inkwell. There are a number of books on the shelf, including Hero Magazine's Golden Guild Guide to Mordavia, Flora, Fauna, and Folklore. This is a long, sturdy-looking rope with a grapnel hook attached to one end. Some round metal weights lie neatly stacked on the floor. I better hope Dr. Cranium doesn't see them. He'd probably invent the cannon and upset the balance of power. You sign your name into the adventurer's logbook with a flourish. It's almost become a habit by now. That would be a lot easier if the desk had a drawer. You read in the adventurer's log about some of the exploits of past adventurers in Mordavia. Prominent among them is the story of Piotr and the Dark One's cult. Near the end of the book, Piotr tells how he led the armies against the Chernovi cult outside the Dark One's cave. The fighters were trained soldiers, but the cult members fought like madmen. Suddenly the cult members changed their forms and became grotesque monsters. Many of the soldiers panicked and ran. The battle was nearly lost. Then Piotr heard the voice of Irana. "By all my will, I banish you to..." The voice was cut off. The cult members screamed and ran. Piotr entered the cave and searched for some sign of life. All he could find were the grotesque remains of cult members. The only sign of Irana was her magical staff lying on the ground. Piotr picked it up and left the cave, knowing that Irana was beyond his help. Piotr then tells how he brought the staff back to town and placed it in the town square. A garden of flowers instantly sprang up around it. Near the end of the book, Piotr tells that he was going to seek out the rituals of the Dark One and destroy them. There are no later entries. You pick up the rope and grapnel set and tie it onto your pack. The grapnel grabs you. With a bit of coaxing, you manage to get it to let it go again.